This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. Yesterday, we're done with the deployment. Please make sure that you do the deployment. And if you have any questions, you can ask me in the next class. And we're going to be starting new batch tomorrow. If you have any friends, please refer us. And so from Monday, that is Sunday night for you, we'll be starting with the data warehousing concept, right? So what is the data warehouse? And what is dimensions and facts, so what are the role playing dimensions, all these things we're going to be discussing. So then we're going to be starting a small project on loading the data or the creating fresh data warehouse and loading the data from oltp to data warehouse and using the data warehouse to create a cube and write the mdx queries. And after that, we'll be implementing SSRS reports and everything. Am I clear? So that is the schedule. Now, for today, let us understand one more important concept: checkpoints in SSIS. Let us understand what is a checkpoint. I have two activities which are being created: executes equal task and executes equal task one. So if I start executing them, if both of them are successfully executed, then it is good. If anywhere you get the issue, for example, task number one is executed successfully, the failure is occurred in the task number two. So I stop it and I see the log and I get the error details. I rectify the error. After rectifying the error, then I try to execute the package. The package will be executing from the step number one. So it's going to be executing again the executes equal task, this task, and this task. That means what? It does not know where to start, right? So because already we had done this activity, this is where the failure occurred. When you rectify the issue and restart the package or re-execute the package, I wanted to execute from the failure, wherever the failure occurred. From there, I wanted to execute whatever the task is executed. I don't want to execute that. Clear? So this is what is called checkpoint. Checkpoint means restart the package from the point of failure, not from the beginning, in case of failure occurs. Am I clear? Checkpoint means what? Restart the package from the point of failure. So if you have task number one, task number two, task number three, and so the failure can happen anywhere, right? The failure can happen anywhere. So task number one we have, then after that we have task number two and the task number three. If there is a failure here, this one is success, right? So here there is a failure happens. If the failure happens, if I rectify the failure and okay and restart the package is going to be starting from again task number one. So that behavior I don't need. Why SSIS is going to be starting from the task number one? Because it does not have a clue or a knowledge that it has to start here. Clear? So to implement checkpoint, when you implement checkpoint, what happens is it is going to be writing which task is executed successfully, from which task it is failed. So it is going to be writing something into a log file or called as a checkpoint file. So what it is going to be doing, it is going to be creating a checkpoint file, checkpoint.txt file. You can give any name. So it is a checkpoint log file, you can say, right? So in this, it is going to be executing. So task number one is done, right? So task number one is done. Task number two is failed. So it is going to be writing like this. So when you know that you have failed somewhere here, when you know that you have failed somewhere here, when you rectify the issue and try to execute the package. So the package is going to be having three activities. Now when you start, SSIS is going to be reading the file first. Okay, it knows that this activity is done successfully, and this is where the failure occurred. It is going to be starting the package from the task number 2, but not the task number 1. So how does SSIS know that? SSIS knows that this has executed this activity using the checkpoint log file. So that's it. Okay. So this is the very interesting and simple, this one. Checkpoints restart the package from the point of failure. If everything is smooth, then this file is, if everything is smooth, okay, task number 3 also getting executed. If everything is smooth means this file will not be there. This file will get deleted. This file will be there if there is a failure. If there is a failure somewhere, this is going to be using this file, because when you restart, SSIS will read this first and understands that the failure is happened. So I have to start the execution from here, not from here. Clear? So when we configure checkpoint in a package, creates an XML or text file. This is called as a checkpoint log file. Takes one of the following two actions: saves the file if the package failed or stopped, deletes the file if the entire package runs successfully. Right? SSIS will reference the checkpoint file when we rerun the package during the failures. Checkpoint cannot start the package at the row level. It can start that task level. So this point we'll discuss later. So let us, continue to do this demo. Go here and let me take demo number 25. Say checkpoint. I'm going to be giving all these packages to you guys. You can just use these packages for the further reference. So checkpoint. Now let me take one execute SQL task and let me have one more execute SQL task, and let me run this package one by one. So let me go and use stage company. Yeah. So now I wanted to create a small table here, and these are very simple tables. Create a table one employee and insert some data there. It is very simple, small table. Let me create one more table called employee two. So I have created two tables. Create table employee one and employee name, only single column, and inserting some dummy data. So this is a select star from EMP1. I'm creating one more table employee two and inserting some dummy data. So this is the next table. We can execute it. Okay. So you have employee number one and employee number two. So these two tables are available with us. Okay. Now, if you wanted to delete the data from this, what is that you're going to be writing? You have to say delete from, right? So delete from EMP1. So this is the command I'm going to be using it here. So I simply connect it to new connection window, and I'm going to be using this. Now, let me have delete from employee one. It's deleting the data from employee number one, and this is going to be deleting the data from employee number two, right? So very simple activities. It is deleting data from employee number one, right? Delete from EMP1, and this I'm going to be deleting. Press F2 or function F2 to write, okay, the renamings. You press F2. If F2 does not work, you say function F2. If you wanted to rename, either right click and rename or F2. Or if the F2 doesn't work in your laptop, function F2. Yeah. So I have done it. Now there is a data. Let us execute this. So I have a data. Let me simply save and right click on this and close all but this. Okay, all other packages will get closed. Yeah. Make sure that whenever you execute, make sure that you close all other packages. Otherwise, it may execute any other package. If not, you simply right click on this. You can also execute the package like this. Okay. Somebody asked yesterday, can I deploy a single package? Yes, you can deploy the single package using like this as well. Okay. If you wanted to deploy. So now right click and say execute it. So it's got executed successfully and we did not configure any checkpoint as of now. It is working perfectly fine. Let me insert data here and let me insert data here. So both are available here. So what I do, I am going to be dropping a table. Okay. When you drop a table, what happens?
Complete table will be deleted from the database.
Yes. If you drop a table, this is there, then this table is not there. So it is telling me invalid object name emp2, right? So when you execute the package, the failure occurs in the employee number 2. So now what is the issue? How do we know? Always we have to go to the progress bar, right? So if you see the error, you will be able to go to the progress bar. But in the real time, you cannot see the progress bar. You have to implement compulsorily logging. Then only the production people can see the loggings. As a developer, I can see the issue here. When I go, I should be able to see, copy this message and go to the notepad and you can paste it. What is the issue in this? It's clearly telling me delete from employee number 2 failed with the following error, invalid object name employee 2. Clear? So as a developer, you can see the issue in the progress bar. So even though you stop this package, the progress bar becomes execution result. So this is where you can simply go there and still this is available, right?
But,
So
but
let us rectify this issue now.
Bhaskar, there are three lines here. The errors, which line you usually take? Like
The
which one
first
is like
one, the first one. Otherwise, you can get it here. Somewhere it will be available. Clear? So first line you will. Otherwise, you just verify in this as well. Okay. Yeah. So you will be able to get this the issue. Now let me rectify the issue. What is the issue? I know the table is not there. So I wanted to create the table. Now let me insert the data as well here. So now both tables are available. Let me execute this and check. Yeah, I have both tables are now available. Now, since I did not implement checkpoints, it does not know that this is already executed. It has to execute this. So what happens if you don't implement a checkpoint here? SSIS package is going to be starting from the task number 1 because it does not know that it has to start here because I did not implement a checkpoint. Now, let me insert the data here, insert the data here and let us implement checkpoint. Clear? To implement checkpoint, what are the properties that needs to be configured? Let us see. Configure checkpoints at control flow, right click on the control flow, blah, blah, blah. And this is the thing we have to make it fail package and failure make it to true. This is also one more property that we have to make it. Okay. So now let us do one by one. So what we need to do, go to the package. The first step number 1, you click on the task, right click on it, to go to properties. When you go to properties, you will be able to see a property window. So a lot of properties we have. One of the property is saying fail package on failure, make it to true. This is what we need to do it. So that I have done it for this guy. Same step to be repeated for all tasks. Go right click on this properties, fail package on failure, make it to true. Clear? So you have to do this activity for all the tasks. If you have thousands of activities, patiently you go there, properties, and fail package and failure true, and you come here and right click on this fail package on failure should be true. Clear? So this is what you should do it. Then right click on the surface, go to properties. Now, if you go up, if you go up, so there is a checkpoint file name, checkpoint usage, save checkpoint. I told you we need one log file to be created. So that is this checkpoint file name. Let me go. And I wanted to create my checkpoint file in the Amazon or anywhere you can just create. So you can give any name. So checkpoint, okay, dot txt file. So checkpoint give, you can give XML or TXT file. Name can be anything, A, B, C, D, any name can be given, doesn't matter. It needs one file. So that file I have created. Now, if the above file exists, if the above file exists, save the checkpoint, make it to true. That's it, okay? So these three things you have to configure, log file. If the above file exists, I have to make it true. That's it. So now I have configured checkpoint. If I start executing this, if both of them are successful means checkpoint file will not be there in the D drive. Clear? So I have data now here. Let me start executing this. Both of them are successful. Stop this package. You go. You don't have any data. But if I go to D drive Amazon, I don't have any checkpoint file in this. But second time what I do, let me insert the data here. Let me drop the table. Okay. So if you see, you know that the first one is already there. But the second one, when I execute, I'm telling invalid object name employee number 2. Clear? So you know that every package needs to be implemented logging. So I'm not doing for this, but you make sure that you implement the logging without fail, because if the package is with you, then when you execute it, you should be able to get the log details in the execute in the progress bar. But once you deploy the package, nobody can see. Yesterday, I think you would have seen, right? So nobody can see the progress bar, right? So they are completely blind. They will have only two options. Either you can have SQL Server logging, or they can have event in a Windows event viewers. Clear? So you need to compulsorily implement SSIS logging, guys. So you know how to implement, right? So check this and add minimum one or two logs, SQL Server and Windows log, and give on error, blah, blah, blah. Clear? So that I don't want to give. Now the package will fail because this is not there. When the package fails, the checkpoint file will get stored in this. Let me go back and save and start. This is executed. Now we know that the failure is occurred somewhere here. I can read this data. Now I can rectify it. Let me stop it. Let me go back and show you. There is a checkpoint file. Have you seen this? So it is writing that there is some activities failed. We cannot understand its language, but that is the meaning. It is putting it there. Okay, there is a task being failed. So hence this file has to be there. So it is going to be reading the file, and it is going to be restarting the package. Let me rectify the issue. What is the issue? The issue is this is not there. I would like to create and insert the data here, and I have these two. Let me also insert the data into the first file, first table. Now, even though both of them are ready, and checkpoint file is also ready, When I restart the package, where it has to execute, this one or this one. So it should start from the failure, and after that, this file gets deleted automatically. If everything is successful, this file gets deleted automatically. So execute this. Now it did not execute here. It is executed where the failure occurred. Now you stop it, go. That file has been deleted automatically. Am I clear? So this is how the things will happen. So employee number one, you have data. It did not delete anything, but in the it is deleted the data. So this is what is called checkpoint. Okay, now in the real time, do we implement checkpoint? My answer is no. Many times we never implement checkpoints in the real time, because if something goes wrong, I would like to start from there. If it is very, very important, if the customer needs like that, or if you have lot of activities to be done in a single task, then we're going to be doing. Otherwise, we are not going to be using checkpoint. Maximum times we never implement it. So clear. But if the customer recommends or the architect recommends that we need to have a checkpoint, then definitely we can implement like this. Clear? That is what is very, very important. One more point that needs to be answered clearly in the interview. Checkpoint cannot start the package at row level. It can start the at task level. So this is the one of the interview question. Let me tell you. So there is a task number one called executes equal task. Okay. So executes equal task you have, it is working fine. Later, you have a data flow task. So data flow task is loading the data. Let us say I have some source data. I have employee ID, employee name, employee salary. One, I have A, 1000, two, B, 2000, like that. I have some data. So this data, you're loading with the help of SSIS to the destination, right? So all the data is going to go row by row, because we are going to be using row transformation. The data is going smoothly. There is no issue. Everything is smooth. This task is executed successfully fine. This task is executed successfully fine. But whatever be the reason, the same row is duplicated here, and I have some other data as well. Clear? So I'll say 4D, let us say 4000. So now what happens? There is a primary key you have created on the table. Now let us run the package. Now this is successfully executed. It may be doing some other activity. Now this, you're loading it. This task been executed. You will load 1, 2, 3. Because of duplicated data, now what happens? Because of duplicated data here, there is a primary key. There is error data. If you don't, configure for errors, what happens? So the package fails, right? Because by default, if there is a failure occurs in any row, abruptly the package is going to be stopping, right? So now, if you configure checkpoint for this package, okay, you know that the failure is occurred. This is successfully executed. This is done. Now this is where the failure is happened. If you create a checkpoint file, right? So the failure is happened, then you rectified the error, whatever be the error that you have rectified. So whatever be the issue. But now, when you restart the package, this is the issue. So you have deleted the error row. Clear? Now, if you restart the package, the task is going to be the SSIS is executing this. Now it is executing not from the row level, it is executing the task level. That means it is going to be executing from here, from row number one. It tries to copy it here. Again, it will fail because already you have the data, right? So it is not going to start from the row level. It is going to be starting at the task level. So task is means complete in a data. I have to move from here to here. That is what I'm doing it here. So it is not going to be, telling me I have done 1, 2, 3. Now the next activities is that I need to start copying this. So this kind of a thing cannot happen. Clear? It is going to be implementing the task level, but not the row level. Clear? But if I wanted to implement a row level, because this is the task is going to be executed, now I have to start copying the data from here. So what should we implement? So you can implement a incremental loading. Clear? So the package, because of the checkpoint, this task is going to be executing, but within the data flow task, you have to have SCD or lookup or merge, something has to be implemented so that incremental loading can be done. Incremental loading means what? If it is there, if the matching data means it's going to be updating, so unmatched data means it's going to be inserting. Clear? So if you wanted to, if the package is getting failed, some of the rows have been moved and some of the data did not go at all. So people may ask you the question like this also. Some of the data did not go. So how do you implement to load the remaining data? It is simply an incremental loading, nothing. Okay. But people will not ask like that. So some of the data is already moved and the package is failed. I would like to start from the row level. So from wherever it is failed. Okay, wherever it is failed, I would like to start from there only. If you start from the there, so row level cannot be implemented for the checkpoint. So in the task level, you need to inform and prepare what is called as incremental loading, right? So if the whatever be the data is gone because of failure. If you restart the package because of incremental loading, the other data will go. Clear? So remember, checkpoint is something different, incremental loading something different. So checkpoint is to start the task. But if the task is done the half of the work and I have to continue from there means you have to perform the incremental loading on that activity. If it is data flow task and if you're loading data like that. Clear? So that's what is very, very important. People may ask you this. So you cannot, you have to say clearly, checkpoint cannot start the package at the row level. Okay, it is going to be starting the task level. Entire task is going to be executed, not that from the row. If you wanted to implement that, implement an incremental loading there. Yeah.
Question, quick
Hmm.
question. If it is in the execute SQL task, right? And if this is a truncate the table, if the data just like truncate half of the way and it got failed, in that case, if there is a checkpoint, is it going to start from the beginning? Like, whatever the data, half of the data is gone, is already deleted. What
Yeah,
happened?
remaining data is going to be deleted. You cannot roll it back, right? So you cannot. So whatever the data is deleted, the remaining data will get deleted from that. You don't get any kind of an issues there, right? In case of loading, you will have an issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In case of delete, you don't have any issue, but in case of data loading, there is an issue if you start the package from the row level. Yeah. Now, can we implement a security to the SSIS packages? We never implement the security because if you implement a security, normally you have to give the user ID and password to the uh, production guys and testing guys, because otherwise the secure the package is not going to be executed. So I strongly not recommend you implement security at the uh, development level. Okay, so if you implement, then inform the security, the user ID and password for the package. Clear? So you have security here. So you can provide package, user ID and password that we can set up, and that can be given and by using lot of options. But I don't recommend these options. So use encrypt sensitive data with the user ID and password. Clear? You have a lot of options. And if you wanted to give a user ID password, use this. This is the default one, and provide user ID and password to the package so that the package can execute whenever you provide user ID and password. Otherwise, not. But if you don't give this password to the production people, testing people, they cannot schedule it. But each time and each and every time, it's going to be asking user ID and password to execute the package. Clear? So I don't recommend to give the security to the packages because we never implement, because the complete packages are under the production environment. Not like a developer or tester cannot access the the production, environment to do any kind of an activities. But if you wanted to implement, there is a provision for you to provide the security. Clear? I think the transactions we had discussed the other day, right? So how to implement a transaction and everything. This we can ignore. And
This conference will now be recorded.
okay. So we had seen what is a checkpoint and how to provide passwords and what is a transaction and everything. Now let us understand one more small topic. SSIS is going to be installing some small applications called utilities. Whenever you install SSIS in your laptop, it is installing a lot of small applications. So one of the small application is DTExec utility, and there is a utility. So I think DTUtil we don't use much as a developer, but we're going to be using DTExec utility. Clear? So DTExec utility is used. It is used to execute a SSIS package from the command prompt or from the SQL Server. DTUtil, the utility can copy, move, delete, or verify the existence of the packages. Cannot be deployed to SSIS catalog. Can be deployed to MSDB. So this was very old utility. It was, I think, not supporting to SSIS DB anymore. It was there, initially. So if you have old servers, this utility can be used. It is not for the SSIS catalog. So that is implemented in 2012, right? SSIS catalog you create and you try to delete the data, move the data. If you want to delete the package from the catalog, means you cannot use this utility. But if you wanted to copy, move, delete the package to the MSDB, means it can be used, right? So this we cannot do it anything, but this is useful thing that we can understand. So call SSIS package using command prompt. So how are we calling the SSIS packages? You simply go, calling means executing. So this is the only one we know how to execute one SSIS package, right? So you need to go double click on this, always you click on execute. This is how we are going to be executing. Or if the package is available here, if the package is available here, now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be going to integration services catalogs, and so this is where we're going to be having a lot of packages. We can execute this, right? So let me deploy this, the next package also. Right click on this, say deploy package. So you can deploy because everything is in my system. But in the real time, so from your development server, you cannot deploy the package to the production environment. So what they do, they'll ask again the complete is pack file. So you need to give, if you're creating only one package, so if you give the is pack file is going to be containing everything. If they redeploy the package, all the packages will get overridden. Try to understand, okay? All the packages are going to be overwriting there. So let me do this server name dot right, and click on connect. Many people will not get the browse button. So people are calling me, sir, my browse button is not enabled. You need to give the server name, click on connect. Okay, then you go here. So I would like to browse where I would like to have inside this, right? So click next. So you see the package would be deployed to the selected project. The same name package would be replaced if you have the same name. Okay. So this is a different name. So you need to implement what as logging without fail, right? So when you go and refresh, you are going to be getting your package. Checkpoint packages here. You can execute the second execution. You can right click and execute if you wanted to execute something. So this is how we're going to be executing it, right? The third level of execution is the package may be here. The package may be anywhere. I wanted to execute the package. Now it is getting executed. There is no issue. The next level of package execution is that this. I wanted to call the package with the help of command prompt. So this is the command I should be able to use it. Now let me Control C and go to the notepad. So DTExec, this is the small app that will be there. You may put .exe or you can say DTExec. File means the package is available somewhere in the D drive. Clear? So I would like to say, where is my package? Some of the packages are available. Some of the packages are available, I think. If you have some packages, Amazon SSIS package, I think we kept yesterday somewhere, right? So I have a lot of packages. If I wanted to execute this package, the package is in the F drive, right? So let me rename this, take the complete path, Control C, and you go back and you can give like this. Clear? So I would like to execute this package, and with the help of this fellow, DTExec, slash F means the package is available in this. And you have one more command, the slash SQ means the server is available here. So this is the one more thing that you can implement. Okay. So I would like to implement this, the demo number 1, and the server name is Gather. Clear? So you should be able to run this, and where, let me go copy and go to the command prompt and try to copy and paste and execute. It is telling me because of the incorrect file name when calling. The same thing we have taken, right? Let me include single. So there has to be double quotes only.
Should we not give the path where the file is?
Sorry, I forgot. Correct. So this is the one we should be able to give. I forgot that. Yeah. So this is the one. Thank you. So let us execute this. So now before executing, let me check. I know that select star from the, it is dumping the data to this database, and let me go back and check the database. And this is the table it is loading, right? And I have some data here. It is being loaded. Let me delete this data. Delete from. Sorry. It's been deleted. Now there is nothing is here, right? So let me go and try to execute this package. So now it is executing. See, 33% is complete and 100% is complete. Now the package execution returned is success. If you go here, you should be able to find all the data here. Clear? So let me delete the data, and I have created a job also yesterday, but now it is not running. It is in the stopped state. If you wanted to disable the job, you can disable. If you wanted to delete, you can delete. Let me disable the job for some time, because the job also may be adding the data, but it is not adding the data. Now let me delete it. I know So data is available here. You can change some data and check. Okay. Let me have Kishan there. Okay. So Kishan is already there. Let me give Aman and try to execute it. So sorry. So I have to copy this. Control C and Control V. Yeah. So now it is being executed. Have you seen this? What is the total time it has taken? Everything you should be able to get it clearly. And you can go and get the same data. You should be able to see Aman. Have you seen this? So this is how you can execute the package from the command prompts. Now people may ask you, can I execute the package from the stored procedures? Okay. If I create a stored procedure, can I execute the package from the stored procedure? Why not? So let me create one small stored procedure, and with the help of a stored proc also, you should be able to execute. So see this, create a proc. So I would like to say user stored procedure. So demo number 24, I would like to execute. Okay, so this is the stored proc name, begin xpcmd shell, and I would like to give the complete this one in single quotes. Okay, let me go here. So whatever be the path that you have it, so that you can supply, or you can supply this command as well. Let me go and try to implement this. Okay, so this is the command I should be able to give DTExec.exe slash, and the package is available here, or package may be available in SQL Server. So to execute this command, SQL Server is taking somebody's shell. That guy is called xpcmd shell. What is this xpcmd shell? Which is a stored procedure called extended stored procedure, and you have to take this guy's help. This guy is going to calling this guy. Clear? So this guy is going here and executing the package. Clear? Because this guy is not available in SQL Server. For example, I am there. If I wanted to do some activity in my house, I can do it without asking anything. But now, so for example, select star from the table name. This is a SQL Server is going to be having this table, so you can easily read the data from the table, right? But I have some data that is available in D drive. For example, I have some data. I have some file here. I kept some file here. So this is not in SQL Server, but still I wanted to go to C drive, get some data from the C drive and read it. Where I wanted to read it, I would like to read in the SQL Server. So that you cannot done simply like this. Okay. For example, there is a file I have created here. Okay. This file data, I wanted to read it. You are going out of the SQL Server. The file is available in C drive and D drive. You cannot read the data from the file system. But still, that is where xpcmd shell is going to be implemented. That means what? Any command that you can execute within the SQL Server means I don't need xpcmd shell. But somebody is saying, I am giving you a file data in the C drive, you go and connect the file to the SQL Server and read the data from there. So before, prior to SSIS, so we were loading a lot of data from, from the flat files and everything, using, these, xpcmd shell and other stuff. So xpcmd shell is a extended stored procedure. So which is going to be executing something which is outside of the SQL Server. Clear? So this is a stored procedure given by Microsoft. So if you wanted to call something which is not there within the context of SQL Server, then XP shell has to be used. Clear? So now I am executing this, and this guy is executing this, and this guy is executing this. That's what, okay? So you have to create this stored procedure created. Now, once you create a stored procedure inside this database, now you go refresh. Where is the stage? This is the one. Where can we see the store procedures? Go to programmability, go to stored proc. You have to execute, right click, and you can say execute the stored procedure, or you should be able to execute the stored proc like that. Call SP. So how do we call? Execute proc name. So let me control C, control V, and before executing it, let me delete all the data, right? Deleted. Let me go and executing this. So now when I'm executing, it is telling me SQL Server blocked access to XP shell because by default, this is blocked by the SQL Server by default because nobody is going to be using this kind of a stored procs. This we have to make it on. Okay, to make it on, we can get a code from the Google. Just copy this. XP shell is blocked. Okay, it is switched off. It is not, it is disabled. Let me go back to the Google and let me say enable XP shell. So enabling XP shell code will be available to you. You copy, paste, and run it. So this is the code. Copy and simply you just enable only once, right? Enable only once. So let me click on execute. Incorrect syntax. Let me, I think I have the syntax here. Yeah, I have it here. So this is the one activate. Okay, activate this one. So I have the correct syntax here. You will be able to get from the Google. Yeah, it is enabled now. So this you can get it from the Google. Now, otherwise, I'll share this. You have to activate. So all these are activated in production servers. You need not do anything by default because everything will be on. The SQL Server agent will be on, and this will be on. Everything will be on. So you need not do specially anything there. Since we're doing it first time in my laptop, I'm getting. So let me execute this. I don't have any data because data got deleted. Let me go back and try to execute this. So after deleting this, we can remove the stored proc. That is, I don't need to have it execute. So I am executing. Now it is telling me end progress. 63% is completed. Now it is giving me everything is properly fine. Now it is a success. Now we can see the data. So the data is coming here. So Aman, if you wanted to modify something, you should be able to modify and check it out. So instead of Aman, you can give something else. Okay, let us say give Trump. Try to give some Bill Gates. You can just verify your data working properly or not. Okay, let me give here say Control C and Control V. We have one more guy called Putin. Right, so let us verify some data whether it is getting the proper data or not. So go back and delete all the data and you go and try to execute the stored procedure. That's it. Or you can right click on this, say execute stored procedure. Okay, go to your database. So go to programmability, right click on this and execute stored procedure. click on execute button. So now you see it has got executed. Now you go and see the data here. So we got Trump and we got Putin also somewhere, right? So this is the Putin. Have you seen this? So Putin is available here. So this is how you should be able to check and test it like this. Can I create a stored procedure and call the package there? Yes, you should be able to do that. If you wanted to see the code, right click on this, say modify the code, right? So this is the code that you have written. So all the packages can be, called like this, and the same code you can also use this code in .NET, Java, anywhere, any application, even Android. Android also can call this, and it is going to be executing. Clear? Because end of the day, if you create a stored procedure, this stored procedure can be called by .NET, Java, Android. Anybody can call. If they wanted to execute something, so they need not call SSIS package and everything. So you have, created one SSIS package, and you're created a stored procedure on that, and the stored procedure can be called in Java, .NET, Android applications, wherever you wanted to call, you can just call it. Clear? So there are many places where you can call the SSIS packages. Clear? So this is very, very important one that you should know about it. Clear? XPCMD shell is extended stored procedure which is available in this. And F means file system deployment package. SQ means SQL Server deployment package. So this is the one I think we had done it. So this is not going to work currently. This is already done. Clear? So this was the old story. That's fine. Clear, guys? So how do we deploy the package is one of the interview questions. So you can deploy the package with the help of ispack file. So you can deploy to the SQL Server. If you don't want to deploy the package, give the individual package to the production people. They will be keeping in a subfolder. That is what is called a file system deployment. Clear? When you keep your packages inside your C drive or D drive, that means that is what is called file system deployment. So this is the packages are not in the uh, anywhere else. These packages are available only in the C drive or D drive of the data warehousing system. Clear? So this is file system deployment. So these are the things that you have to work. And if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you, guys.